Hi guys, and welcome to another Bootstrap 4 with the brackets text editor video. In our last video we added our little text sections here. In this video I'd like to add some little images above our section titles here, the meats and fish and vegetables. So let's open our brackets text editor. And for those of you that have not been following this series of videos, Brackets is a free text editor. It's great. It's you can download it from a link below this video. As I say, it's absolutely free and it's got some fantastic features. Now for this series we've been using some extensions, and if you go down to your extension manager, when it loads, it'll show you the available extensions. Now you can just do a search for your extensions. And I've just put Bootstrap in it, and it showed all the extensions that I've got here. Now, on the Install tab, these are the ones I've actually got. On the Available tab, these are the ones you can download. And all the ones I've actually got here are free. I haven't come across a paid one yet. And if you find one that you want, hit the more info button about it. You can read about it and just go ahead and install it. For this particular video we're going to be using this one, RCH Bootstrap 4 snippets. So I'm going to hit the more info and get the page up that has all our little shortcodes that we want to use on there. So here it is. Now to add an image, let's go down to images. What I usually do with these, I make a little text file that I can keep, so I don't have to keep going to the website every time I want to load a little shortcode in. So there's our images, and I want a little circular image. I think I want to put some little circular images above our little captions here. So I've got some images made up already. If I pull my site file over, this is our folder with our site files in it, and we created the image folder a few videos ago. Inside I've got F1, F2 and F3, fish, meat, vegetables, and this is what I'm going to try and add this time. So back to our brackets, and close that down, and here's our sections: meats, fish, vegetables. Let's just make a bit of space for our image and type the shortcode BS4 image rounded. Actually, circle is what I want here. Now, since this particular extension was built, I think it was built during Bootstrap 4 beta version, the class has actually changed from circle to rounded circle. Instead of image circle, it's rounded circle. So I can tell you this isn't going to work, but let's put our image in anyway and just take a look at it. So our image is in our IMG folder. That's prompted us. We can just click on that. And I think F2 was the meat. Yep. There we go. If you just mouse over it, it'll give you a preview so you know you've got the right one. And we'll do a quick save, Control S, and back to our site. Now if we refresh this, our little meat image should pop up here. That's great, but it's not round. I wanted a rounded one. So like I said before, and for those that didn't realize what I was doing there, I just typed in BS4 image circle and it came up with the code, the HTML code that I needed to put that image in there. So let's go ahead and make this circular. Let's update that class to the correct version that they've changed now, which is rounded circle. And if any of yours don't work, you can go to this site or just do a Google search for whatever term you're looking for, and here it's telling me that the circular one now has a class of rounded circle. So this is what we need to put in. And let's just get rid of that one. So we need to replace the class there with that rounded circle. Now if I save and we go back to the site, it should be a nice little rounded circle, or at least a rounded image. There we go. And it's not completely circular. I'd like to see it completely circular, and the reason it's not completely circular is we've got some height and width attributes we need to change. If we go back to the brackets, here we go, right at the end there, it's put on here. So we'll put in our alt tag. You always has to have an alt tag with an image, but you want to try and use a keyword or whatever, something that pertains to your image and your site. So and the reason it's not a perfect circle is because the width and height are different here. I mean, as you all know, a perfect circle has the same width and height, so we just need to make these the same. Let's make them both 250. And you could give them a class of responsive or whatever new. And let's save that. Back to our site. Now when we refresh, that should be perfectly circular. There we go. Nice perfect circle. Alright, that's kind of what I was looking for, but it's a little big. It's just slightly big. I want a little more space between it and the prime meat title there. So let's go back to our brackets and just add a simple bit of padding that we covered in one of our earlier videos, padding the margins. And let's give it, say, we'll try P5. I think that's going to be too much. As you know, the padding classes go from 1 to 5, 1 being the least amount of padding and 5 being the most amount. Save that. I think that's going to be a little too much. It'll make that image too small and too far away. Yeah, it did. Okay, so let's change that to padding 3. And save. Back to our site. Yeah, that's a little more like it. That's a little more what I wanted to see. And we'll just do the same for these two here. And what we'll do, we'll just copy it over and change the image source. So Control C to copy. Back down to our next one and paste in there. Back down to our next one and paste in there. Now we just need to change the actual image. I think fish was 3 and the vegetables, let's have a look at that. Yep, and the vegetables was 1. And don't forget to change your alt tags. This doesn't actually show on the site, but it does affect your SEO. And for people that are sight impaired, it'll actually read it out to them if they've got that setting on. And a quick save. Back to our site and refresh. There we go. We've got a nice little row of circular images there. Very easy to do. There's a little bit too much space there, so we can bring the padding down on the top. We may want to just add a bit of padding here at the bottom. Let's go back to our index. So here's our row. Great thing about brackets is you click on the opening div and it will show you where the closing div is. And each of our divs here has got a padding 5 attribute on it. So let's actually take that down to padding 1 and see what that does. Save that back to the site. Now that should reduce the padding from there to there, but it will also reduce the padding at the bottom here. That's alright. Let's try it. There we go. We've got a little less space here. I think that looks a bit tidier there. We may want to add a little bit more space at the bottom. Let's just give it some padding on the bottom of this whole section here. Let's go back. Here's our section. Here's the class. Now we want some padding on the bottom, so it's padding P, B for bottom. And let's add that. At the moment it's got 1 because we reduced all these to 1 and originally it was 5, so let's give it 4 and that should put that padding back to how it was. Control S to save and back to the site and refresh. We should have a little more padding down at the bottom there. There we go. And I think that'll do it. And that's how easy it is to add a few little images to your site. In the next video we'll put a few buttons just down below these captions, perhaps if you want these buttons to take them to the particular menus for these dishes. Okay, so once again, I hope you found this useful. If you have, please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're interested in web development, take one of our web development courses below. We have some fantastic discounts for our YouTube subscribers, and there's also some great free courses down there. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.